I will get started with, it's all about conditional permanent residency, right? Conditional permanent residency. So those of you that are not familiar with what is that? What's conditional permanent residency? That's so weird. It sounds so different. It's basically a green card. So for people that are married for less than 2 years at the time they receive a green card, so if you're married less than 2 years at the time you get a green card, what you get actually is a 2-year conditional green card. You might get this in other situations too. Sometimes investor visas also will receive a conditional green card, but I'm not talking about that. This one right now, what I'm discussing is about marriage-based conditional green cards. So this is your 2-year green card for people that are married less than 2 years at the time that they receive this green card. So essentially, you have to prove to immigration that your marriage is real, right? And that's how you get this green card. And then at the end of 2 years, so usually about 90 days before that 2-year green card expires, you need to file to remove conditions on your residency. Okay, you need to file to remove the conditions on your residency and go from a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card. So that's how you go from a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card. And at that point, what the government is doing is checking to make sure that your marriage is real. We all know that fraudulent marriages occur, right? We all know there's so many that occur. But what immigration is doing at the end of 2 years is essentially they want to check and make sure that your marriage is real and is not just for immigration purposes. So ideally, you and your spouse will go together to file this removal of conditions, right? So you're going from a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card. You go together with your spouse, you file jointly with your spouse, and you're producing evidence. And maybe you have kids, maybe you live together, you bought a house, your names are on a lease, you have joint financial, joint credit cards or evidence of joint finances like joint bank accounts or ownership of cars or loans with both of your names on it, right? So these are all different ways. And of course, these are not the only ways, and the documents that are available to you might be different than one of someone else, right? So it's really based on your relationship and what documents you have available, and you want to put forth the best case forward to show that your marriage is real and not just for immigration purposes. If you do have children by this point, so let's say you're married for 2 years and you have kids, congratulations, but that's huge evidence, right? That's huge evidence that that marriage is real, not just for immigration purposes. So that's something really important that you want to show to immigration. So it's really important that you put this together, because what happens is if you don't get approved for the 10-year green card, you will be denied and referred to court, right? So you get put in removal proceedings. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to file this and not file, because the risk is huge. You don't want to go to immigration court. If in the event you get put in immigration court for this, you might be able to file this late and close out your court case, or basically argue it in court. So it's really important that you work with an immigration attorney. This, is not something to be taken lightly. Put together a strong package and definitely reach out to us if we can help you. We're at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663.